How to approach and talk to anyone. This is a highly important skill and it could change your life. Around 6 years ago, I was sat in a coffee shop and I didn't plan this, but opposite me sat an attractive young woman. And before I know it, the words coming out my mouth were, "Hey, how's your day going?" We ended up having a really good conversation. We then started meeting up and then she became my girlfriend. We dated for around 5 years. And when I think back to that moment, if I hadn't said anything, then I would have never had that amazing experience with her. Now, we're no longer together, but we are very good friends. But that split-second decision completely changed the course of my life. Just breaking the ice and reaching out like that, it wasn't something I planned, it just happened. And I'm really glad I did it. So getting out there and being social is the key to a happy life, I believe. So in this video, I want to give some tips on how to go about this. We live in a world where no one talks to each other anymore. Everyone is glued to their phones. It's time to change that. This video is about two things: overcoming the fear of talking to strangers, getting better outcomes in conversations. Talking to people is hard, I get it, but stepping outside of your comfort zone can lead to amazing connections. Even small steps matter. Just say a few words to the cashier, the bus driver, whoever is around you. Stick around for tip 2, tip 5, and tip 6 because they are the most effective and the most life-changing. Tip 1. Don't assume you're bothering people. When you speak with confidence, people are more receptive. Start with a compliment or a question like, "What kind of dog is that?" People reflect the energy you bring. Approach with positivity and they'll likely mirror it back. Even if someone is cold, ask yourself, could I have approached them differently? Treat strangers like old friends. Be warm, familiar, and friendly in your tone. Your energy sets the stage for the interaction. How you say something matters more than what you say. People form impressions quickly based on your vibe. Remember, social confidence takes time. You'll have good days and bad days, and that's okay. Shyness is temporary, you'll bounce back. There's a more outgoing version of you inside. Practice letting that side of you shine. With time, it will feel natural to bring that person forward. So it's very powerful to speak with confidence and just assume that they're going to get on with you, they're going to like you, that they're going to enjoy the conversation. You've really got to assume this, especially if you're speaking to a woman and you find her attractive. I would assume that she's going to find you attractive back. I would start with a compliment and tell her the real reason you're speaking to her. Don't make up something, just be genuine. This is really powerful because women can sense, especially women, if you're speaking to them to chat them up, they're going to sense this. So you might as well just go for it. You might as well just compliment them, tell them how beautiful you think they are, because it's so much more powerful to do that. They'll feel your genuineness. But don't assume that you're bothering people. And even if you are, most people are like, "Look, you are bothering me," they'll move on. That's okay. Just move on afterwards. But don't assume you're bothering people. Assume you're bringing value to the conversation. Assume you're bringing something to it because you have value and you are putting yourself out there for a reason. Okay, guys, if you're enjoying this content so far, then please like and subscribe to the video. Back to the video. Tip 2, get physically close to people before starting a conversation. Proximity increases your comfort and likelihood to talk. Think of it like magnets. Draw closer and the interaction feels easier. Take the first step. So if you see someone you want to speak to, it begins physically moving yourself. Take the first step. Have that focus on your feet and then take the first step. And then you'll find that your mouth will follow afterwards. This is a habit and it will take practice, but you can do this. So get yourself close to people and then start talking. Otherwise, you're going to overthink this and you're going to take your time and then you're going to think your way out of this and think of an excuse like, "Oh, I don't want to bother them," and then you'll leave. Tip 3, build momentum by talking to multiple people in a short time. Each conversation reduces anxiety and boosts confidence. Even small gains carry over into the next day. Social confidence is like a muscle. It grows with use. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. Consistency is key. So don't be hard on yourself if you don't get this at first. It does take a bit of practice, but after a couple of days of saying, "Look, I'm just going to speak to 3 or 4 people, say, 'Hi, how's your day going?' or compliment somebody or whatever, you're going to find that you get better at this. You're just like greasing the wheels. So don't be hard on yourself. I swear to God, if like after a couple of weeks of doing this, you're going to feel so amazing doing this. It's going to feel like second nature. And you know, a lot of guys feel very hard on themselves because they don't do this. They're not as social and they feel like they're rude or they're just not putting themselves out there. Start small and just keep consistency and you'll find that you actually speak to a lot of people eventually. It doesn't take long. It takes like 3 or 4 days. Tip 4, wear something bold or unusual. It forces you to get comfortable being noticed. When you embrace standing out, confidence follows. Stop worrying about others' opinions. Ironically, The less you try to impress, the cooler you seem. So this isn't peacocking as such. You hear about this in the kind of pickup circles, but it kind of works on the same premise. I would do it because it just gives me that kind of edge to feel like I am the type of person to wear something like this. And then you just feel more into that kind of role or character of being someone that's kind of crazy to talk to people. And it just seems a little bit more congruent to you. You'll find that you'll become a lot more comfortable with yourself if you do something where wear like an unusual color, like I'm wearing a pink t-shirt. That's enough. I'm not saying like wear a big hat with goggles on. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like just do something a bit unusual. And you'll find that it does make a difference. Tip 5, speak to the inner child in people. Behind every serious adult is a playful, open-hearted person. Address that part of them with warmth and authenticity. Don't give up after the first brush off. Most people open up after a little persistence. Kindness breaks through even cold exteriors. If someone truly wants to be left alone, respect their boundaries. But don't let small signs of negativity discourage you. Assume the best in people. They're likely just guarded. So initially when you start speaking to somebody, they're going to be like, what's going on? Do I know them? What do they want? And after a while, if you are a little bit more persistent, you'll find that people do drop their guard. And I had this with, a couple of times I've had this with different girls I've met, especially in coffee shops where they're working. And I am just a little bit more persistent than the average guy. But I can see that I am, there will be a point where I don't cross the line. I am respectful. But I also know that the initial reaction probably isn't what they want to do. And because I know that because I'm like that. If someone just randomly starts talking to me, then I'm just going to be like, what do you want? I'm going to be figuring them out. But in your heart that you're just there to be social. You are there to respect their boundaries as well. So you do need to be a little bit more persistent with people because they're just not used to being spoken to. And obviously you need to see where the boundary is. That's called social intelligence. And sometimes it does take doing something like this to learn that. But don't be hard on yourself and be a little bit more persistent than you think you should be. Tip 6, be a word detective. Listen carefully to the clues in what people say. Follow up with thoughtful, relevant questions. Active listening makes conversations deeper. Picture what they're describing as they speak. This shows genuine interest and builds a connection. Avoid giving naked replies like, yeah, mm-hmm. Instead, expand your responses with interesting details. This makes it easier for others to engage with you. So it's so key to just stick on the topic, and you're probably going to be afraid, your mind's going to be racing. So this does take a little bit of practice, but stick with whatever they give you. If they're working a job, you need to ask questions about that job, and especially get into the feeling of what it's like to do that job. People care about feelings. They won't really want that superficial conversation. So just go deep on whatever they give you. Because ultimately, I believe everybody is looking for some kind of connection on the inside. We're all kind of guarded. So people don't want this small talk. They want to have actual serious conversations. And sometimes just a stranger can be somebody you do open up to and can make a connection with. Like I said, when I met that girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend, and one of my best friends, we actually got into very deep conversations very quickly. Tip number 7, maintain good eye contact. It conveys confidence and builds trust. In groups, distribute your gaze to make everybody feel included. Eye contact makes interactions more intimate. It shows that you're fully present. Don't overdo it. Balance is the key. Every person you meet is a chance to practice, even small moments like greeting someone. Build your skills. Start with simple actions like saying hi with a smile. So eye contact is good, and this is also something that you can practice. Like I said, if you're nervous and if you are somebody that is a bit shy, it's good to do this because it starts to train you onto how to actually hold good eye contact so that you're not passive and you're not just somebody that's just in their head looking around. You can hold good eye contact and actually have a good connection with somebody because you are relaxed. Every person you meet is a chance to practice even small moments like greeting somebody. Build your skills. Start with simple actions like saying hi with a smile. Make it a habit to talk to strangers. James Clear, Atomic Habits, teaches that small, frequent actions lead to big results. The goal is consistent practice over time. I made it a habit just to go after work at 5 o'clock, just to go to where the bus stop where I was working, and just say hello to a few people. And that actually was pretty life-changing because I did that for a year, and it just massively increased my social circle, increased my confidence, increased my ability to just go and do something I said I would do. And it came from very small actions. You'd be surprised how powerful just doing something small is. But I highly recommend the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. I'm going to do a video on that book at some point, I think. Getting someone's attention is the first step. A simple, hey, I'm here, can open the door to a conversation. Don't overthink it, just engage. That's key. Don't overthink it. Just get yourself in there And before you know it, you'll be in conversations. And like I said before, momentum's key. You'll start having more and more conversations. So if this is something that you want to get better at, then you just got to start small and build momentum, and you'd be surprised how many more interactions and how much more sociable you'll be. When you focus on your energy and approach, results follow. Confidence grows as you step outside your comfort zone. Keep pushing yourself even when it's hard. Talking to people isn't about being perfect, it's about being genuine, curious, and kind. Let go of fear and let your authentic self shine. Okay guys, that's the end of the video. If you want to learn more about why you self-sabotage and why you aren't consistent in things, then click on this video here. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe to the channel, and comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.